Hey there, friends! Welcome to Kingdom Escapes, your go-to for all things Disney. This channel is where magic will meet inspiration, and my goal is very simple. It is to help you find your happy place no matter where you are in life. I am Beppe, and I'll be your guide through this adventure. And today, we're escaping together to the stunning African savannah to dive into one of Disney's most legendary classics. Yes, The Lion King. This movie is so big, it's filled with unforgettable music, powerful life lessons, and honestly quotes that I use all the time. So grab your Hakuna Matata vibes, leave your worries behind, and let's escape together to this incredible kingdom. Alright, my earliest Disney memory. Before I dive into today's topic, I like to share a bit of my earliest Disney memories with you. And Disney magic has a way to come into our lives since the beginning. For me, it all began as a kid watching cartoons. I remember two of them. One of them was Tailspin. Remember that intro, bum 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 bum. I don't know if you don't remember, look it up. And DuckTales. DuckTales was one of my favorites, and I remember I thought I one day could be rich because of, my duck. Anyway, those shows were my afternoon escapes. My after school uh, revolved around playing outside. I grew up in Mexico. We had land and I was like up in trees. But at a certain time of the day, I had to run in front of the TV to watch these cartoons, and I would spend, I don't know, however long that was, watching them. And it was amazing just to live that life, like kids would never know. They would never know the struggle that was not having things on demand. But I think it shaped us to be who we are. Well, millennials. I don't know what's your age. It's okay, but that's a early memory that I have. And another one that really stuck with me were those Walt Disney World vacation commercials. I remember hearing, the little jingle, and then llame al 1-800, and I don't know if these were like Disney official commercials or like third party selling Disney vacation packages. And I would just stare, at the TV and be like, oh my gosh, they have rides and they have characters and they have food and all of this. And ever since then, I had the dream of going. I didn't go to Disney Park until I was 31. That's a sad, um, waiting for me, because all my life I wanted to be there. But when I went, it was amazing. And as I grew up, I understood that feeling was not about being at the parks or meeting the characters or the experience, but about how it made me feel. It just translated from the TV to a kid wanting to live in a world that was probably different than what he was living. And those are my early memories. If I have more, I will tell you in other chapters or episodes. The very first Disney movie I watched, I think it was Bambi. I would say Bambi is somewhere in here, down there. And this is why. There is a scene in the movie where it starts raining, and there's music, playing. There's people singing. It's like, after watching that movie, I was, what, 5, 6 years old. I remember that every time it would rain, I thought there was music playing, and that's why it was raining. Okay, call that creative, call that crazy, whatever, but that was my little mind would go in there, and that just tells you, about the magic of Disney and how well they, in these classics, these storytelling is embedded. How it has an amazing start. It has a very captivating, development, and an amazing ending. Of course, I do believe in happily ever afters. Don't burst my bubble. Thank you. But that's just Disney storytelling, and that's what I love about that. And yes, Bambi has to be the first movie I ever saw from Disney classics. My favorite movie, I mean, you already know it. That's why I chose episode 1 to be this. The Lion King, 1994. I have to specify. The Lion King, of course, it's not a surprise that is just one of Disney's biggest movies. And honestly, I don't think it's changing anytime soon for me. That's gonna stay my favorite. And well, Disney, you can surprise me if you can. But The Lion King is right here, in the heart. It's in my shirt. It's all over my office, and it's just big because there's so much about it. It's a story that shares deep topics about redemption and courage, purpose. It's just so timeless. And I would say if I had to pick a favorite character, it has to be Simba. It has to be Simba because I love seeing the development, just watching how he grows into his role of finally becoming and embracing who he is, who he was born to be, a king. It's just so inspiring. My favorite scene from The Lion King has to be the opener. Yes, that big number, the circle of life opening with, I just, have that image every time I see the sun rising. I just hear, nah, Sueña. If that's even how you pronounce it. And just like the birds flying over the water, it's just amazing. I think that's my favorite scene from the movie, hands down. My favorite song from The Lion King is what I just mentioned, The Circle of Life. Number 1, because I've tried singing the other ones and I just can't hit it. So The Circle of Life is the song that I can sing, and it just like releases a lot of things inside and you just like belt it out. So I love The Circle of Life. It's so powerful and uplifting. It just sets the tone for the movie, and what's not to love about it. All right. If I had to pick a best friend from this movie, I would say I would pick Timon and Pumbaa, hands down. It has to be them, They are just down for a good time. You need those kinds of friends, that not only are there for you in hard times, but they also celebrate your victories. I just have this image of Timon, I think it was when Simba was being proclaimed king. He's just like doing this. And I think that's so amazing. It just represents those friends who get happy when you succeed. Surround yourself with those friends. Unpopular opinion about this movie. Are you ready? For me, the unpopular opinion is that Scar is an amazing villain. I don't know if that's unpopular or not, but sometimes I feel like his song "Be Prepared" is underrated compared to other villain songs in the Disney universe. And man, that song is just powerful. Like his voice, just the whole scene where the hyenas are like marching, you're like hum, hum, hum. It's just like so cool. And I think that song is underrated. It should be played more. I know a lot of people think about like, oh, can you feel the love tonight is the best, or can't wait to be a king. But I think Be Prepared has something, and that's my unpopular opinion. Did you know that The Lion King was the first Disney animated original story? Before The Lion King, before 1994, we saw stories about these amazing princesses that we were in love with and would sing with when we were young, but most of those were taken out of fairy tales and literature, classic literature. But The Lion King, they got ideas maybe from some writings, but it was a complete original story. So that sets it apart already. And it just tells you of how amazing these creative people are that can take a story and tell it through the life of a lion. That's just mind-blowing, Second fun fact that I have for you. Scar's voice actor, I was talking about the song earlier, Jeremy Irons, almost turned down the role because he thought he couldn't pull off the singing in that number. And I'm just so thankful he did, because Be Prepared, like I said, has to be one of the biggest songs out there. So thank you, Mr. Jeremy, for saying yes to the role. Um, do I have another? Let's see, another fun fact. Okay, yes, the Stampede scene took over 2 years to animate because of its complexity. Can you imagine the detail that they put into it and the hard work that these Disney animators put into it? So let's see, this released in 1994. They had to start like in 1992 probably to start animating this scene, and that's why it's so emotional. It's first it's full of action because you think like what's gonna happen. That scene, it has to be so amazing and the most nerve-wracking of the movie. It could break, how old was I back then, 7 years old? It could break a 7-year-old's heart, just seeing this little cub, crying, trying to find his dad. He's here with me. Simba, you went through a lot, bro. I'm with you. Let's have him over here so he can watch over us. And now, if you're asking, where can you find this if you go to a Disney park? Well, I wanted to create this segment to talk to you about how you can live the magic of Disney, the things you see in movies, at the parks. I've been to 3 of the 6 parks in the world, and it's just amazing, to think that I could go to another one and another one. The one I go the most is in Orlando, Walt Disney World. I've been to Disneyland Anaheim, which is in California, and I've been to Disneyland Paris. I loved it, and I can't wait to check some others off my list. But as for The Lion King in the Orlando parks, you can find anything and everything about The Lion King at Animal Kingdom Park. As soon as you walk into Animal Kingdom, you see the Tree of Life, and you feel immersed into the Lion King. I would say the whole park is not about the Lion King, but you just feel it. There's a specific section, for the African continent, where you can find the Festival of the Lion King, which is a Broadway style show that brings the story to life with singing numbers and dancing. They have like singers singing live, and there's just on spot every time. You can find that experience there. I believe they play it multiple times a day, so if you miss one, you can catch another one. When you get out of the Festival of the Lion King, you can find the safari, and next to the safari, you will find something that's called Rafiki's Planet. So you'll take a little train, and it's going to take you out of the park, which sometimes is super necessary because you know how crowded the parks can get. It takes you to Rafiki's Planet, which is a separate section of the park where it has, if you have kids, a scavenger hunt activity. It has a petting zoo. It has a laboratory where you can see actually how vets are helping animals that go in there that need either a checkup or a surgery. It's just amazing. But one of my favorite things, and you can see up here, I have drawings of some of the characters. You can do a 20-minute drawing lesson with a Disney animator. And I have loved to like just going there every time I can, because they do a different character every day, but they do a different character every other hour, I believe. So if you go in there and you check the schedule for the day, you're like, oh, maybe I don't want to draw this one, but I would love to draw this one. You can come back to it, and it's just an amazing experience for you, for your kids. You can turn it into art, as you can see, and there's no way, I'm not a professional, artist, but there's no way I could have done these without somebody guiding me, and it's just so simple, and I love that part of it. What else can we find? If you go to a resort called Art of Animation, Art of Animation has a section dedicated to the Lion King. The whole area is in the outside, they have statues and it's decorated, and then the rooms inside are also decked out all about the Lion King. So that is your go-to place. I know at Disneyland Paris, they are building a Lion King land, so that's going to be amazing. But as of right now, they also have a Lion King Broadway style show. It is different from the one in Orlando. It's actually super good. I recommend it if you're ever over there. Just find a spot over there. It's a little different. You can wing it and go on the standby line that day. You just have to go early, like maybe an hour or so, depending on the crowds. But you can also purchase the ticket that's gonna secure your spot for a specific time of the show. All right, so that's all I can think of the Lion King at the parks. If you know any other areas, things, of course you can find merchandise everywhere. Put it down in the comments and I'll be sure to check it, and maybe next time I go to the parks I'll try it out. All right, my friends, I've created this next section with just a mix of words from Alice in Wonderland, and I'm going to call it I seldom give very good advice. All right, if we can take this moment to receive a heartfelt advice from me. I am in no way a counselor or a therapist. I'm just a friend. I'm just a friend that wants to do more than tell you that about the parks or about the movies. Like I said at the beginning, I want to help you find your happy place. And one of the most iconic quotes from The Lion King is when Mufasa tells Simba, "Remember who you are." That already resonates so much with me, and I know it does with you, because at times in life we kind of tend to forget who we are, and we are so distracted and we have so many voices telling us who they want us to be. But it is very important that we hear that voice from above that reminds us every day who we are and who we were born to be. This is just such a powerful reminder to embrace your identity, your purpose, your God-given purpose. Even when life gets tough, no matter what challenges come your way, God has a plan for you. And just like Simba, you were destined to be a king, to be a queen. So today, take a deep breath, and remember you are capable, you are worthy, and you are destined to do great things. I pray that if anything from this video sticks with you, it'll be this encouragement for you to keep dreaming and embracing that identity and that purpose that you were given since you were born. Our next segment is called the magic carpet moment. You see here I have a magic carpet, and in this segment I would like to share with you, if I could use the magic carpet to fly anywhere physically, emotionally, or like a moment in my life, where would I go? Be sure to write yours in the comments or email us about it. If I could be honest, I will fly back a couple of years ago, 3-4 years back, and hold myself and tell myself that it is all okay, that I can keep dreaming, and that God has his hand on me. I will hug myself, and I would encourage myself to keep going, because nothing is impossible. So that's where I would go, honestly. I feel like today me will help a lot past me. And I know you might feel the same way or differently at this time, but if you could do that, where would you go? What would you do? What part of you would you help heal? Or what future adventure you would plan for? It could be anything. So I would love for you to take this moment. If you believe in prayer, you can pray and just take this time to meditate and see where you are and see where you want to be, and start dreaming, start believing that if you do things with the right heart, they will come to you. If we can take any advice, from the Lion King again, it'll be that moment when Rafiki hits Simba in the head. And he tells him, it hurts, but it's in the past. So if there's something that's hurting you from the past, it is time to heal, to let it go, and to embrace the new things that God has for you. Keep dreaming, because your dreams are coming to pass. It just takes a little time sometimes. All right, my friends, we are wrapping up. Can you believe this was my first episode? I don't know if I sounded nervous. I don't know if I was looking everywhere. But I don't care. I just wanted to come in here and share with you about things I love and share with you a little bit of encouragement to uplift that amazing person that you are. So if you enjoy this adventure, please like, subscribe, and do me a favor, share it with everybody you know. I don't care if they love Disney or not, let's convert them. And I love all of you who are Disney fellow fans or Disney adult friends that are joining this community. Check out any of our links below. We would love to help you plan your next Disney trip. Our agency can help you from booking and creating itineraries for you and give you tips on what to do, what not to do at the parks. Let us help you plan your next Disney adventure. All right, my friends, I'll be seeing you next time. And remember, all the dreams that you wish will come true. I am Pepe, and you're watching Kingdom Escapes channel. Goodbye.